Girlfriends can be fantastic. They're the ones that show up for you. They talk you off the ledge. They make you laugh until you pee a little bit. But if we're being honest, they can also be absolutely brutal. And I'm not even talking about the teenager that's doom scrolling on your couch right now. Grown women are terrible to each other. And our daughters are watching. They're watching what we say about each other. They're watching who we include, who we don't include, how we're supporting someone while we roll our eyes behind their back. How do we raise daughters and sons in this mean girl culture? That's where we're going today. We're going to talk about mean girl nonsense and a ghosted friendship world and all the stuff that bubbles up inside of us when our kids go through this nonsense. And joining me, this is now Parenting Teens Today. I'm Tiffany Dogie, President and CEO of Children's Harbor, and joining me today are three very brave souls who are going to tackle this topic with me. Hello, ladies.
Hola.
Hello.
Hi. Before we jump in, I would like for you to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself and answer one question. Give me your friendship profile. Who were you when you were in middle school / high school? Were you like a ride or die? Were you the peacemaker? Were you like the one standing in the corner hoping that nobody betrayed you? Like, who were you? You want to start?
Hi, I'm Suzette Bravo. I'm a executive leadership coach. I work primarily with entrepreneurs and emerging leaders. And I've always had just a dear heart space for working with young girls who are growing up because honestly, and it's interesting that you bring it up, my junior high and high school years were some of the hardest of my entire life. And I was probably the girl in the corner hoping that nobody noticed me. And Tiffany, I know you can relate to this. Growing up and having trauma in the house, you know at some level that you just don't fit in, right? So you kind of hide. And I gravitated toward the people that were kind of easily, they sort of easily accepted me. But it's interesting how much that's changed for me over the years and what a fierce advocate I am for who I once was.
That's really nice.
Okay. Go ahead. Try to beat it.
I don't think I can. I think you win. You trump me. Hi, my name is Nicole Zweibel. I own a learning lounge in West Palm Beach for little ones. I teach reading. Stems from a background. My mother owned a learning center, wrote her own phonics program, so I'm just kind of taking over her lead. To answer your question, okay, so junior high, I was the quiet one. All of a sudden, 9th grade comes, and I kind of came out of that because I felt I had to. So I was the peacemaker, but I also held the group together of girls.
Yeah.
So
the glue.
I think as high school emerged, I got better and better and better and more secure with myself. But there was also a lot of trauma, not necessarily for me, but for girls that I was friends with. Leave it at that.
Okay. All right. Good.
So kind of learned a lot.
Probably going to dive into that later. Okay.
So my time?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm Melinda Twillie Bryant. I own Twillie Bryant Creative, which is brand development. It's a very special niche of brand development, which is on relationships. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. And amongst other things, I'm a mom and a wife, or a wife and a mom. But I would say the type of friend I was really morphed as well as time went on. I was homeschooled for coming out of elementary into junior high, which is what we called it back in the day, not middle school.
Junior high.
And when I got back into public school, I came in and I remember kind of making this intentional shift in who I was on my own, where I was like, you know what? I'm going to be the one that people want to know. Because remember, I'd been homeschooled.
Mission accomplished.
And so I became what I thought was kind of not life of the party. It wasn't really about being life of the party or being seen, but it was about making sure other people felt seen and connected. So I always put a smile on my face. I remember teachers like, Melinda, you always have a smile on your face. It was intentional. Like I wanted people to feel welcome when they came around me and not the weird homeschool girl that
That's
came in.
nice.
So
That is nice.
yeah.
That's good. Awesome. All right. So let's dive right into it. Did we really survive Mean Girls, or did we just get better at hiding the behavior as adults?
That's an
Because I feel
excellent-
like Mean Girls are everywhere. I'm just going to put it out there. I feel like it doesn't matter if you're 12 or if you are 42.
Yes, and I feel like we forget sometimes that mean girl behavior is born out of fear. And it's also learned behavior. So I love what you said about, our girls are watching. We're setting the standard. They're all looking at us to see how we behave. And if we can't treat each other with love and compassion and respect, how can we expect them to follow suit? And, I believe we could eradicate all levels of hate in a generation or two because it is learned behavior, right? We're not born hating or disliking anybody. We learn that. We learn that from watching our environment. And knowing that mean girl behavior comes from fear, you can have some compassion for it. But I am that mom too. Like, don't come for anybody in my family, because I will be the sweetest, most loving, compassionate soul you've ever met in your life. And I will also scratch your eyes out and not think twice about it if you hurt my family.
We'll also shank you.
Yes.
Okay, now we're in jail. We're just pivoting different locations. I would say, and I think, like, again, because all of us have had different life experiences, little black girl from Arkansas here. So, Southern culture definitely is different. When I moved here to Florida, I had culture shock. And so I don't know that mean girl was a concept in this is what they are. I always knew that there were girls who seemed to be mean, but if you got to know them a little bit and loved them on a little bit, to your point,
Right.
all of a sudden they weren't really the mean girl anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not true.
Oh,
Okay.
let's go.
Only because growing up, I wouldn't have necessarily known this, but coming down here and raising my kids in private school, I have seen a lot of behind the scenes stuff that I think maybe I gravitated toward it at one point, and then I learned how to scope it out and stay clear of it. Now I can sense drama within a minute and a half and I'm out. So whereas before it would take me a couple of weeks to scope some of this out, some people are just drama. They are just looking for it. They are going to create it. There's always an issue and it is going to follow them. And I've noticed that. And if I see it, I'm out. So I don't have it. But I
think there's a difference, though, between drama and mean girl.
it's usually the drama will wind up being that mean girl a lot of the time.
Yes and no. I know a lot of people who are really sweet, but they always have a lot of
Always
drama.
have
Drama.
Yeah,
Yep.
so that's why I kind of differentiate between
Okay.
mean girl and drama, because mean girl doesn't necessarily mean, as a matter of fact, I know a lot of mean girls that have no drama at all because they the mean girl.
Right.
And so, yeah,
I understand what you're
Yes,
saying.
yeah.
Yeah. If you're
Comes
different.
in all different kinds of shapes and sizes
Yeah.
and packages.
For sure.
All
True.
three of you, though, said something very, very similar. You said, "Don't come for my kids."
Oh, I didn't say
So
that.
sometimes
They can come from my children.
Oh my gosh.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
No, but
They,
I don't know. Like, it's not like if they come for them. I remember my son
okay.
coming to me. He was probably, my son had a very big head when he was growing up, and
Like physically, or you mean like ego?
no, physically,
Oh.
the boy got a big head. I remember I had a friend that'd be like, Melinda, he was like 2. She's like, his head is so big, you can put
He's got a
drinks
lot of
on
head.
it.
Oh my
right.
What on it?
She was a really good friend of mine. We still laugh it up. And so when he was in, I think at this point he was like in kindergarten, and he came home and he was like, so mad. He keeps saying I have a big head. And I said, Aiden, so what we don't do is we don't get upset when people tell us the truth about something. As a matter of fact, we kind of feel sorry for them, and we can spin that back around. I was like, so the next time he says, you got a big head, be like, yeah, and I'm smarter than you.
Oh.
And
And
so
I'm nicer than you.
and so as a result, Aiden is and he was a little guy for a long time. ended up getting a lot of confidence. But that's what I taught them, is that we're not going to, okay, yeah, great. You said
Then you deal
something
with
mean. Good job. And then you pivot it around. So I don't necessarily come for people other than you can kill them with kindness if that's coming for them. Like, no, you're not going to get a response out of me, because you getting a response out of me says you have some sort of control over me, and that's what you don't have.
That's great.
Interesting.
Love it.
I love that. I love what you said there. And the thing is, there's always this part that kind of wants to come for them.
Yeah.
And I have to credit Brene Brown for this. Are you guys familiar with Brene Brown's concept of the marble jar friends?
No. Oh, what is
Okay.
this?
So she tells the story about how her oldest came home from school one day, and she talks about how she came through the door and she just melted into a puddle when she came in. And Renee was like, "What happened?" And she said something had happened at school. She confided in one of her friends, and that friend told the whole class. And she was humiliated. She was embarrassed. And it's funny because Brene says, like, her first thing is like, "Who was that?" Like, I'm going. And, you know, she's from Texas, and she does it with a lot of flair. Right. But she stopped, and she was like, "Okay, this is a teaching moment." And what she taught her daughter was, imagine each of your friends is a glass jar. And every time one of those friends does something really awesome to build trust, they get a marble in their jar. When they do something to break that trust or to hurt your feelings, you take a marble out of the jar. So you're going to have friends that have a couple marbles in their jar, and then you're going to have friends that have full jars. And those are the friends that you confide in.
Love that.
Yeah.
So
And-
awesome. That is so good.
And, you know, I think it's such a powerful, you know, there's so much talk about authenticity and being authentic, but we have to be discerning.
Yeah.
And, you know, we have to, I think resilience is the best thing that you can teach kids, because there's always going to be kids out there telling you have a big
A
head.
big head.
Yeah.
You have to learn how to deal with it.
Yeah.
That's life.
Those are
Yeah.
big head friends.
Right? Big head friends.
Literally.
Marble jar friends. But being discerning
Yeah,
about who
that
you
sounds
open up and
amazing.
share to, and understanding that not everybody's your people.
Okay, so that's a good example of,
Love
because
that.
my question
Oh,
was,
sorry.
it's okay, it's all right. Have you ever had a mama bear moment where somebody came at your kids and you were like, I'm taking your phone and I'm going to answer that text?
Yeah.
And like, what stopped you? Did you actually stop, or did you interfere is one thing, but did you actually stop and turn it into a teaching moment? Or like, do you remember anything that happened in your home where you had that mama bear moment and you had to stop and pivot and be like, this is a teaching moment?
Well, it's now happening now that they're adults is when most of it.
Really?
Yeah, now that they're adults, and we actually professionally are all kind of connected, because my daughter works for a mobile therapy company, which is one of my clients, and my son works for an assisted living that I used to work for. So I'm seeing, certain things happen, and yeah, I want to pick up my phone and shoot a text message like, first of all, but then I have to go back to him or her and say, look, this is how you deal with it professionally, because at the end of the day, we can't be burning bridges. You do not know who you're going to run it up against in 10 years. So turning them
6
into
months.
teachable moments is everything, because, if anything that life has taught me is that every single word you say, not only I'm a follower of Christ, so I always think about things in the context of
Making
longevity.
Jesus proud.
Yeah, making Jesus proud.
That's,
Yeah.
that's the simplified way to
That's
say
a
it.
good one. Ooh,
Just
that's a
wanna make sure that
T-shirt.
the words that come out of my mouth.
The words of my
Make
mouth,
Jesus
meditation of
proud.
my heart. Yeah.
But the thoughts never make him proud.
But
I'm
we're
gonna be
working on
honest.
those too. We're working on those
Never.
too. But so always remembering that it's going to come back. If you
Yeah.
say this word, it's going to come back. So I'm, as a mom, that has been one of my biggest things. It's probably even been one of my biggest failings as a mom. When I think about what was the thing I could do the better at. Why did I say that to her? Why did I say that to
Failure's a
him?
big word.
It's a real one.
It's a big word, yeah.
It's a feeling is real. Because you're right. It's not necessarily, I didn't fail.
It's just one of those words that is meant to diminish you and keep you from moving forward.
But I think we evolve as parents, because I was that mama bear when they were little, but I'm not that way now.
Oh, that's great.
So I think I've evolved so much in Christ, and also just as a person. If someone were to mess with my 3-year-old or my 4-year-old, they can't stick up for themselves.
Thanks.
So, my daughter was in cheerleading in school growing up, and she dyed her hair like a red that was a little off, and she was in a Christian school. They were not having that. They were throwing her off the team.
Oh.
These are the moment they were throwing her out of school. I owned a hair salon at the time, so we did funky things, you know. So this was not allowed at school. They didn't care. A parent complained because her daughter had blue hair. So a parent complained. Now they put it on my daughter to make an example. I went to the school. I talked about it. They'd let it go. However, those are the moments. Yes, we have to come in and do the fighting. She can't fight that herself. But now I have taught my daughter, I don't worry about her. She can fight all her own battles, and she can walk in anywhere and get a job just on personality. So, yes, I was that mama bear, and I probably a little overboard back in the day. That isn't how it is now. So I think we all evolve. You know, well, not everyone.
We have to evolve. I mean, this is the developmental stage when they're teenagers, when they're 15, 16, 14, 15, 16, they have to learn how to fight their own battles. They have to learn how to make decisions. And if you're making every decision for them, if you're intervening every single time that there's a conflict, they don't build those skills.
Right.
And then they become adults whose moms are going to their job interviews with them. Like that's a real thing. That's a real thing.
That's funny.
That's a real thing. Or managing their calendars, or
what is the mom doing that she has time to do that? Like, I don't have time. But anyway.
That's a very good question.
That's helicopter parenting to the extreme.
Yeah. And which really actually goes when we talk about this mean girl stuff. And again, my children are older, so maybe I'm out of touch with like what mean girls are looking at now. I know like I was talking before, and they were like, yeah, they're starting cliques and stuff again, like on the movies type mean girl stuff.
That's always been.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But the real mean girls are the moms. Those are the mean girls.
100%.
The moms all have the cliques.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Always, now, ever, for always.
Yes, it's less in my experience, it's less the teenagers and more the moms.
Yep.
We are carrying on this mean girl energy, which was kind of what I talked about in the very beginning. Like, have we really moved forward with this? I mean, we call it boundaries now instead of exclusion, or we say we're protecting our peace instead of ghosting. But I feel like we've just repackaged this into more socially acceptable language, and we really haven't moved past the mean girl thing, and we are passing this right on to our kids.
Agreed.
In the PTO meetings.
So it's funny because the mean girl experience that I had with moms was when my daughter was in gymnastics.
Oh.
It wasn't actually school. It was at the gym. And I don't know that they necessarily perceive themselves being mean girls, but I know I felt so mean girled all the time. I felt like I wasn't a part of their clique. I felt like, as a result, alienated. Yeah, like I would show up, and even though, oh my goodness, Melinda. But then later you found out they all got together at someone's house and they had a barbecue.
Oh,
that's so nice. Yeah. Yeah. Did you have a good time? Yeah, it was good. But then I would always have to go, you know what? Thank you, God, for protecting me, because obviously
I didn't want to go to that barbecue anyway.
Well, obviously those are not my people.
Yeah.
And how is that? That's probably not a safe space for me to be in, and having to make sure that I package everything, not in a way to try to repackage it so I feel better, but package it the reality of what it is. Like, is it really the space I would want to be in anyway? It didn't change the fact that it was mean girl behavior that they were doing, but
The way you framed it was different in your head.
yeah.
Well, I mean, we're still navigating through mean girl behavior, and we're trying to raise our kids at the same time. And then that's bound to just bubble up inside of you. Like when your kid goes through something hard, and you're the mama bear, and then, but it's also triggering your own stuff.
Yeah, 100%. And so my bonus son and daughter, I met them when they were 6 and 8. They were my husband's children, and they've been the greatest gift I've ever had. I tell people all the time, I could not love those two more had I actually physically given birth to them. And so my relationship with them was different. And I remember with Caroline when she was very young, Andrew and I hadn't been together for too long, and the kids were struggling. Their parents were divorced and moving through a lot. And I remember at that point I was kind of like well, that's not a big deal. Like, both of your parents love you. Like, okay, so they're not like, I didn't really have a concept of how hard it was for her. And she taught me so much about not having to fix the problem, but just sort of being there for her and holding space so that she could feel what she was feeling. Now, there's a fine line between just being in your feelings and feeling it and then crossing into sort of the victim mode of it.
Yeah.
But she taught me so much about just allowing her to have her feelings, being as loving and supportive as I could for her, and understanding that her experience is going to be different from mine.
Yeah.
Right.
And then recently, so their father passed away in 2013, and Caroline's pregnant with her first. And she called me one day because her dad was, I think he was Santa in another life or something. Kids loved him. He was great with kids. So her now going through this experience where she's having a baby in January, she was really, really missing her dad. And for me, it was like this moment, I was like, she reached out to me. Like, it was such a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
But I think that balancing that, I want to fix this for you versus how can I support you? Like, what do you need? And I know a lot of times when they're younger, they don't necessarily know. But that's where, resilience and just holding space and not flying off the handle, exhibiting the behavior you want them to exhibit.
When you're little, when your 8-year-old comes to you, I mean, they can't verbalize what they need, but what they definitely need, no matter what, is for you to just sit. We call it hold space now.
Yes.
Just let
love
them vent. Let
Yeah.
them talk about how awful that experience was. I mean, they may not be able to tell you, this is what I need from you, but that's a timeless
Just let them
constant.
talk.
Just let them talk.
Yeah.
Don't try to
Yeah.
fix it.
Exactly.
Ask them. What do you think the next step should be? Well, what do you think you should do next? Just like pick their brain and then obviously guide them. If
They
they say,
will tell you.
stab them, then you
100%.
have to guide them.
Okay, again,
Right.
we're back in jail.
Not to the shanking. Not to the shanking.
No shanking.
Away
No
from the
shanking. Away from the shanking.
Maybe
But
not.
Away.
Susan, I have to say that your story, and it's a little off subject, but the whole bonus parent thing that children get, and it's such a blessing because I think about my husband was also, my children were 7 and 9 when we met. And so there's this very unique thing that they get a chance to have a person that can do that, because the reality is when you're the biological, your emotions get all wrapped up into it.
Right.
It just, it
See
looks,
that,
the
yeah.
response looks so different. And so it's such a blessing. Bonus parents to me are such a blessing. And even when sometimes my husband's like, I don't know, like, if you go away, if you pass away, are they going to look after me? I'm like, are you kidding me?
Look after yourself.
No, you're
no.
so funny. They freaking love you.
Right.
If I were gone, you would be who they call, because you are that person. You're not biological mommy, biological daddy. You are the person that chose them.
Yes.
Right. That's amazing.
It's such a
Right.
beautiful
Chose
thing.
them.
So yeah.
It is very much. And yeah, and it is. It's a choice that you make. It's a choice that you make to love and honor them the same way you would your own.
Yeah.
So nice.
Thank you. I love
Thanks.
that. I really do.
I
I
will
don't
have
that.
I will have that. Well, who knows? I barely dated, and I got divorced 2 years ago. I'm not even dating
got
after
time.
24 years of marriage. So I'm in a completely different. But my kids are grown, so that space will be interesting if it ever arises. Who knows?
Let's talk about that classic parenting line, which is, well, they're not your real friends anyway. Which doesn't help, guys. That doesn't help when we say that to our kids. So what are some things that you have said to your teenagers that actually were helpful in helping them navigate through these situations?
I think social media changes everything.
Yes.
Now.
Yes.
Because you could say that back when. Now they're actually seeing things if they're not invited or it hurts you as a parent
Yes.
deep down to your core. I have a little girl. The mom came to, because I work with little kids, no one showed up to this kid's birthday party, and they gave out invitations to everyone in the class.
Oh, no.
I was
that's
heartbroken. It's not
heartbreaking.
even my child. I was devastated.
How old?
She was 9,
Not one person?
Like, can I go get her a gift?
Oh, my God.
How old is she now?
10.
That is a core memory now. That is awful. Okay, I'm going to pass it to you. That's
Hard.
awful.
It's hard. And they don't have social media. Can you imagine if they did have social media? I don't know. I think social media makes things so much worse. Do we need it? Yes. Is it necessary for work, for business, for promoting, for everything? Yes. But there's that whole question, when do we bring it in? And
I'm not going to move
take
past
it,
that story. That's
Suzette.
terrible.
Take it,
That's
please.
How did she
awful.
handle it? How did the mom handle it when no one came to her daughter's party? Do you know what she said? How she
I don't know how she handled it.
did
She
they
just-
egg everybody's house?
No. No.
Did they
she's
shank
not-
him?
She's not that. She's not that mom. She's
Okay.
yeah. She's not that mom. She's more concerned with the academics, which was hard for this kid is a little on the tough side, so she's hard. Like she's the kid that will.
I would give cash money to know how she handled it. Can you imagine? How do you bring your daughter past that point on that? How do you even? I've got nothing except for ice cream.
I don't.
Yeah, because you can't come at it
she could
with
be a little older. She could be
That's worse.
12. She could be 12 now. She may have been 11. Yeah, she was 11.
I
give us
have
some
grade.
there's
Going
nothing
into
in my
fifth
brain.
grade.
I
for
don't
that.
know.
Like
Suzette,
right now,
please
there's
give
She
your
had her
estimate.
cousins there. She had her cousins there, so they must have just had fun with the cousins and just kind of.
Okay.
25 years in social work, and I have zero things to add to this. Like for this story, I have zero things in my brain right now. Like I do not know how to recover
You know,
from that
the
parenting
only
moment.
thing I can tell you is that I don't know that I've had that experience necessarily of nobody showing up. Like what the
Like one or two.
but what I do say, even for myself, when I've done a ton of events over
Yeah.
my life. I'm 45 years old now, and I've been doing events since I was about 20, and I've had those things where, no, really, we had 30 RSVPs and 2 people showed up.
Oh no.
But I know for myself personally, I'm in the people who are in the room are the people who are supposed to be in the room. And I definitely think I've coached my children in that way of not being concerned about the people that didn't show up. Now the everybody not showing up, that's why I'm
So
stomped, because it's like the people who are in the room are people supposed to be in the room. Well, nobody came. Like, guess nobody was supposed to, huh? Yeah, it's like it doesn't
No,
work
that-
there,
yeah,
but
No.
Yeah,
No,
that
no, no,
doesn't
no,
work
no, no,
there.
no.
I think there's really no other way to handle that than to just sit with them and be like, wow, that was really horrible. Like that
Just
really
acknowledge
sucks.
it.
That
Validate
really
the feeling.
sucks. And I'm really sorry that you're going through this. I think empathy is all you've got in a moment like that, because you can't tell them that every single person that didn't show up is a horrible person or it's not
No.
important. And when you say to them, well, they're not your people anyway,
No.
I get a visceral reaction to that, because all you're dismissing how they
Yes.
feel. You're telling them that their feelings about this are wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like when people come up and they're like, well, whatever you're going through, well, at least. It's like anytime a sentence starts with at least, I shut down. I don't even want to hear the rest of it, because you're probably going to say something stupid. But it's empathy. And I think we're so afraid to acknowledge that things are hard.
yeah.
And that's where resilience comes in, and that's where you cannot shelter them from this.
Yes.
It is going to happen. They
Yes.
have to be prepared in how to handle it.
I think that's essential. Validating the feeling that's in front of you. This really hurts. And then moving forward from there, but starting with the validation of what they're feeling and let them feel it. Don't try to shield them from it. Don't try to protect them. They
Right.
need to feel it. Resilience is born in moments of failure, but also in moments of pain.
Yeah.
And what you do next.
Ice cream.
That's
I
so-
do
ice cream.
Ice
I know
cream.
that's so
Cream.
superficial, but
we
if
get some of
ice
that
cream
now?
fixes the evening, so be it.
So this is their mama bear kind of a
Yeah.
thing. When my kids were that age, I made sure that they had at least 1 or 2 kids at school. So I would facilitate friendships with the moms. So I think on some level that's important as a mom. Sometimes you have to interfere, because if your child does not know how to make friends at school, sometimes we have to push a little bit.
I think you're right.
You're right.
Because my daughter was, I hope she doesn't hear this.
She's going to. Gordon
Painfully.
hears all of it. All the things that
The
I'm like,
thing
you won't
is,
hear that one.
when English hears this, she knows it's not been a secret. She's 25 now, so it's time has passed.
22 and
Yeah.
19. I get
So,
it.
but she was painfully shy. Painfully.
I was when I was little.
Like 5 years old. Hi, what's your name? And instead of answering them, hiding behind my skirts. Like, yeah. And you can imagine for me, I'm like, yo, open your mouth. And so in the same way, I think I was a facilitating mom. Like one of my daughter's really good friends for 20 years now has been my best friend's daughter. Yeah, y'all want to sleep over? Do you want to sleep over? We're going to do it. We're going to go to the park. And we made those things happen to where now they are grown women that love each other and see each other as sisters. But I was definitely purposely doing that.
Understanding your
How do you
child's
say it?
area.
Curating.
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 Curating. Yeah.
Curating.
No, I think that works.
Making
It was
happen.
saying it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so to your point, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I think
It worked for me.
You
yeah,
have to understand your child's strengths as well as the areas
Exactly.
they need to develop. And
Because let's face it, you're going to have to hang out with the parents of the kids that your kids are
When
hanging
they're
out with.
little.
So there's nothing wrong with curating and finding people that you like too. I mean, there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times too, like you know the parents and maybe you know things about them and maybe their values are not.
maybe
what
they're
you
drug
want.
dealers.
Well, maybe. I mean, maybe they're not who you want your kid hanging
Yeah.
out with.
Yeah.
So
Right. Well, that's
sometimes you do.
At least you know who your kid is
Yes.
hanging out with.
My children would actually, and I hope I don't get
Hate?
crucified for this. My children would get in trouble for making the wrong friends. So I know this sounds wrong, but
Like
if-
from you, get in trouble?
yes.
Oh,
So like, look, guys, when you go to school, you need to be mindful with who you're around. English, you make sure that you're choosing people that you would feel comfortable bringing home to your home. And so, and she guess was good at it, but she was in like second grade at this point, and she gets in trouble because there's a little girl who was going around and what she was doing was lifting up all of the girls' dresses at school. And so English got in trouble because she was, I guess, she wasn't doing it, but she was affiliated with her in the thing. And I was like, English, what have we talked about the type of friends that and so because English is so amazing, by the way, if you're listening to this, you're amazing. She, from that point on, has always chosen the most wonderful girls as friends. And I really feel like
No more skirt lifters?
No more skirt lifters.
Because she's 25, so you shouldn't be doing that, English.
Right,
We are in
exactly.
2025, so, but you know,
Or wear pants.
but in the mean girl theme of things, one of those wonderful girls who I do still love, she ended up having a mean girl experience with her. They went on a trip to Jamaica. She invited English to come along on this trip to Jamaica with her. It was her mom, and I think like a couple cousins or something. Do you know she left my daughter at the resort for the whole weekend? English was basically fending for herself. She would learn later that they were all hanging out in each other's rooms. And so when English came back, she was, it hurt.
We could do the same principle and be like, wow, that really sucked.
And that's what I did, basically.
Right,
It was
just
like,
validate the
that
feeling.
really, I know she's like a dear friend. I was like, we do have to recognize that people go through their own hurts, and hurt people. So give her a little space. They have since now, 3-4 years later, they're friends again. She comes to church events with her and stuff like that. But the mama bear, I wanted to be like, girl, why did you do that to but I didn't.
Yes.
Because I recognized that, okay,
she's going to handle it.
she's going to handle it. Yeah. And so she's better. And then we did a makeup Jamaica mommy and daughter trip later.
Oh, okay. It's
couple
better
years
than
later.
ice cream.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
way better than ice
Travel.
cream. Yes.
Absolutely.
What is something that you've learned about friendship as an adult that you wish your daughter could understand right now?
It's going to sound very cliche, but I think it's quality over quantity. And, I always thought you needed to have like a big group of friends. And, that was sort of what I grew up watching and wanting to be a part of. And what I have found as an adult is I have a small core group of amazing women. I mean, I will say probably 10 years ago, I think I really just sort of pruned out a few of those. I had this one girl.
Obligation friends.
Yeah. And, she used to talk smack about everybody. And then I don't know why I was surprised when I found out that she was stabbing me in the back. Because it's like, everybody else, what makes you think you're unique and she's not going to do it to you? So when she did it to me, I was like, okay. And, now like I can kind of sit back and give her grace because I see who she is as a person and what her values are. But I don't have time for that. Like, I just don't.
Agreed.
And I've been very blessed the friends that I have, in the Daily Drip, the relationships that we build in there, one of the things that impressed me the most the first time I walked into a room was the way everybody showed up for everyone. Somebody's talking about an issue that they have, and you've got 10 women around the table going, hey, like, I get that. This is how I moved through something like that. And I think that finding those people and helping them understand that not everybody is your people. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I avoid women's groups. I know that's shocking, mainly because women are just horrible to each other. I mean, we don't really support each other. We support each other until you get to a certain level, and then hands off. You're not allowed to be too successful. You can only be you can only arise and shine so brightly before girlfriends will turn on you. So Suzette and I are both in the Daily Drip, and one of the things that I really gravitated, I was very hesitant, mainly because there's no way that I am going to click with 20 women. Like, there's no way I want to click with 20 women. I don't even have space for 20 women. One of the things that I remember thinking about you specifically was that you were very comfortable with allowing the others to be the others, and that you gravitated towards a select, just to a few.
That's how I am.
You were very comfortable with that, and it really gave me emotional permission, because in that space where I had avoided women's groups for so long, this was like a coming out thing. Like, can I do this? I don't even know if I want to do this. And so I watched, and one of the things that gave me real emotional permission was, oh, she's not friends with everybody. She gravitates to a few, and she's comfortable. And that kind of guided my own approach with it's okay to be in a room.
That's exactly how I navigate through. There could be 20 girls in a room. 3 of them I will connect with. I'm not going to connect with all 20.
And you don't have to. And that's the beautiful thing. And
I don't even try.
Call it, call it vibrational frequency, energy. Like, I'm a huge believer in energy. We all vibrate at a certain level, and I truly believe you find your people. And I don't feel like I have to be friends with everybody in the room. But the one thing,
I think that's the first time I've ever seen that, though.
But the one thing that I will do is if I walk in a room and there is a woman sitting by herself, I will seek her out, because it pains me when I see people being left out, people being excluded, and I have a very visceral reaction to any kind of bullying. Like, it really, like,
that's your own stuff.
Yeah. That's my own
if
stuff.
I'm by
1
myself,
million
just leave me
%.
alone, I'm okay.
Right.
Like, I don't. It's not like I'll
but
use.
I mean, if they're by themselves in a group, like, you can tell. Like, if somebody just wants to be left alone, I'll leave you alone. Like, you can kind of tell. But sometimes maybe they're more shy. Maybe they just need somebody to come over and say, hey, like, I
or
see
they
you.
look lost.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, I get what you're saying.
I think that's important, because I taught my kids that. So my kids were always the person to go over to the child, and especially in high school, that was alone. And
so
they would both of them would do that. And it definitely shows the kind of person they are. And with me, I can pretty much get along with most people. I like people in general until you prove me wrong. So I give people the benefit of the doubt, but it's usually, there's only so many people that you can actually click with. I mean, just in general, if there are 20 people at a party, you could like every single one of them, but how many are you going to truly connect with on a deeper level? It's usually 1 or 2, if that.
I think I just let it happen. I don't know. Exactly. Like I do. I'm the same way. I come into the room, and it's not that I want to be friends with everybody, but I do want everyone to feel seen. I want everyone to feel like Melinda did connect. Melinda does see me, and I genuinely would love to have connected with everybody. But what I love about organic things is that it just happens. So I fully trust that the people who are my people, we're gonna connect, and it's just gonna happen. And in that same breath, though, that connectivity doesn't have to be an everyday anything anymore. So we talked about, like, what would I tell my daughter about friendships?
Yes.
Girl, it doesn't have to be every day. So my bestest people in the world who I know are there for me, the people I can confide in and things like that, those are the people. We don't talk every day.
No.
I have my one good friend. We laugh about it because we literally see each other about once a year.
I believe it.
We just hung out this past Saturday. We're going to go crazy, and they're going to spend Thanksgiving with us twice a year.
Oh, in the same month, too.
But she sent me a little one of those Instagram videos the other day, and it must be a scene from some movie because I see Adam Sandler and this other guy who I know his face. Anyway, so what it says is like, when your friend finally remembers you're alive is what the title says.
Yes.
And so and it's Adam Sandler like, okay, well, maybe we can like meet up and go for drinks one day.
Yeah.
And the other guy's like, I'd like that. It's like, okay. And then they end the call. Once they end the call, the other guy takes a lipstick, twists it up, and then leans over, and at the top of the list it says, people I need to kill. And he scratches the guy's name off of the list because it's like, once your friend finally remembers you're alive, okay, I don't have to kill him more. So she sent it to me. She was like, this is us. Like, we finally, but that's okay. And it's so beautiful. My best friend who lives in Texas, we don't talk every day. We talk like once a month. But what we love is being able to be the first person to reach out, because the first person to reach out gets a chance to say, did we fall out and didn't nobody tell me? We just love doing that, even though we know we don't have time to talk every day. So that's the biggest thing that I want my daughter to remember, is that life is happening, and friendships are not crutches for you to rely on for life to be good. They are beautiful pieces of life, and you get a chance to do them. And when you can see them that way, now they're not stressful. Oh, I got to call them. Oh, I didn't call
it's
them.
not an obligation.
It's not an obligation.
Some people are lessons.
Yep.
And some people are in your life for a season. Some people are in your life for a specific reason. That's
Right.
okay. I'm not a hangout girl. I never have been. Like, I can't even think of a hangout girl, like somebody that you call every single day to talk about like something you saw on the side of the street. Like, if you call me for a reason, that's just my personality.
I have a few of those.
What?
That I do. I'm a girl's girl.
And
I
I think-
always was.
I think that's something social media has been really good for. So
Yes.
my best friend Danny moved to Colorado a couple of years ago. Danny and I were inseparable.
Yeah.
For about 10 years, we were inseparable. We traveled together. We hung out together. I mean, our big night out was she would come over to my place and we would hang out on the couch and watch TV and chat. And we did everything together. And then, now she's in Colorado and her life has changed. My life has changed. And we'll go a month without talking to each other, but we get on the phone and it's like we just talked to each other yesterday.
Exactly.
I
And that's
never,
nice.
I
That's
never
fine.
feel guilt. I'm never like, "Oh, she's not reaching out to me."
No.
But the way we do stay
You gotta do that
connected
voice again. That was
is
great.
we send each other memes online all the time.
Yes.
I get so happy.
Yes.
I'll like open my phone. I'm like, yeah, I got like 4 messages.
That is
Or
right.
when
and they're
text
silly
or-
memes.
Yes.
Yeah, this
Yes.
is you. This is me.
Yes.
This is
Yeah.
us.
It's also how you meet new people. When you start sending somebody memes, like this is how you. Like,
I think that's
I'd
how
like to get to
Romy
know
and I
you.
became really good friends. Is she
Sending
sent me some
memes.
stuff online. I was like, yeah, this girl, she's my people.
Yes.
She has the same twisted, dark sense of humor that
Yes.
I do.
Social media for good.
Yes,
You know,
exactly.
That's how we use it. Send memes.
There
back
you
and
go.
forth. It's how you.
Positive spin.
It's how you feel like your proximity equals intimacy. So social media helps you feel like you're involved in this person's life. If you're
Right.
still connected with them on some level, even if you're just sending memes. You
Yeah.
know? I totally agree with that. So, last question. If you could sit down with your 13-year-old self and your 13-year-old child at the same table, what would you say to each of them? What's something you've learned about friendship as an adult that you wish your daughter could understand now? Same
Girl.
concept, but if you're sitting with your 13-year-old self and your 13-year-old kid.
You do realize there's a whole show on like this right now.
No, I don't.
Have you guys seen The Way Home?
No.
You have to watch it.
Why?
It's so good. It's like involves a time traveling pond, but so I know that sounds crazy, but I'm telling you, if you watch it, you will text me and be like, okay, I'm on the 6th episode now.
A pond?
Yeah. You know what a pond is? Pond, body
Like
of water.
a lake?
Little baby lake.
Pond.
With,
baby
with
lake.
mold in it? Because it's
No,
stagnant?
ponds are great. Stop it.
Like not like
You are ruining my Arkansas life.
Oh.
Ponds. Everyone has a pond.
Everyone has a pond
Not
in our.
everybody. If you have land, though, you probably have a pond on it. But anyway, the point is that you need to go see The Way Home because in The Way Home, especially in the first season, it's a lot of daughter jumps in pond and it takes her back to when her mom was the same age as her. They become friends in that time.
Oh, that's
It's
cool.
so good. Like, I just got chills because I'm like, I wish that my daughter had that ability to go back and be friends with 13-year-old, well, no, 25-year-old me now, but me. It's so good. So to your point, what would
that is very
13-year-old
cool.
me and 13-year-old English be chatting about? It'd be like, girl, don't worry about what other people think.
Oh.
Do not worry about, just be you. Yes, your mother is mad that you wore the broom skirt with the baggy t-shirt to school, and That's my mom to me.
Ponds and broom skirts.
Yeah.
All in
So,
one
because when
fucking-
I was 13, I was just recently coming out of homeschool, and now I'm in junior high, and my mom would be like, "You're not going to wear that to school," and I'm like, "Yeah." Aren't you afraid what people are going to say? Not particularly. No, I don't care. She's like, what? So that's what I want my daughter just to have that same, like I feel very blessed to have had. I remember having what do we call it? The imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
But that really came as I got older.
Older.
But when I was 13, I did not care a frick about what you thought about me. I wore my hair the way I wanted to. I wore my clothes the way I wanted to. I just got done being homeschooled. You can't hurt me. Like I'm the person you want to be friends with. And so I want my daughter to have that same thing where,
sense of confidence.
yeah, the sense of confidence that way, because it takes so much away.
So then my next natural question is, who took that from you that you developed imposter syndrome as a grown-up? But that's a different episode.
Well, it all started. Kidding.
Seriously.
It's called becoming a woman. This world is brutal.
It is.
And so the way you start realizing, oh, I'm supposed to be pretty. I'm supposed to.
You are pretty.
I understand, but like you're supposed to present as pretty. If that makes sense, like I think
As everybody else's definition of pretty.
everyone's
Okay,
right,
got
right,
it.
from a socially acceptable prettiness. I do believe. I always say God has gifted me with wisdom, creativity, beauty, and love. I don't take it for granted. I know that God has made me beautiful. There's a reason my husband wanted me. You know what I mean? Like, hello. I'm kidding. I'm not vain, I promise. But what I'm saying is
But
that
that's not vanity.
it's
No,
not.
it's
Okay,
not.
thank you. But it becomes a point as you get older where you start to realize, oh, you wanted me to straighten my hair? Oh, I'm supposed to, my stomach should be flat. Okay, let me do some crunches. That
My
kind of
butt
thing.
should be a little bit smaller.
No, my butt is the right size. This is crazy. This is the second time today in a group setting of professionals that we've had that conversation. But
About butts?
yeah, about
Booties.
lifting and all of that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But the reality
That's a
is
thing.
that yes, that happens over time. That's why I would love to go back to 13-year-old English to be able to tell her so that she can be prepared as she gets older. Don't lose this. First of all, take it, grab hold of it, and then don't lose it. Don't ever care. Yes, of course, be loving and want to present and be what other people need you to be for them in that moment for whatever it is, but not at the expense of you.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like that.
I like that too. I can't top that.
Oh, okay. Well, you can think while Susan.
I would say something very
similar
similar
to that.
because, and I've had this conversation with some of the girl groups that I've worked with, and it's like, think about all the women that you look up to. Did any of them get to be who they are by being like everybody else? And inevitably, the answer is no.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you sacrifice all of the gifts and the originality that you've been given by God and you just want to follow the crowd, you're just going to be one of the crowd.
It's going to be a sheep.
And you don't, we're all different. We're all unique. And trying to fit in, and I get it. It's hard. It's hard. I was there. I mean, I was more of a people pleaser. I just wanted people to like me. And now I still want people to like me, but not at the expense of becoming somebody that I don't recognize. And I will say both of my kids have done an amazing job with that. I mean, both of them have done an amazing job of just owning who they are in the world and finding their own path. And it's really beautiful.
Yeah. Are you guys familiar with the fingers? This one, clock it. Like when someone's saying,
yes.
yeah. So
Yeah,
like
yes.
when you say something that's like, yes, yes. This one is if you've ate, like if you look good, like, and you do. But that one, clock it. That was real.
I still snap.
You can do that too.
I know. It's
If
old.
you don't want to be cool. It's fine.
I'm not cool. I've got 29 teenagers on one campus and 34 teenagers on the other, and they repeatedly tell me that I'm not cool. So I know it, and I'm comfortable with it. I'm fine with it.
You're cool to us.
I'm fine with
Girl,
being not
you went
cool.
windsurfing. You're cool.
Oh, yeah, you are cool.
Yeah. Okay,
tried.
but that
It
you
was a
tried.
It was a big mistake.
That is cool. Because I was like, every day I would go to social media. I was like, okay, is she doing it? Like,
Oh, I do remember.
It was so bad. I did for my 50th birthday. I said, I'm going to learn how to kite surf.
Wow.
Yes.
You
Wow.
wouldn't catch me doing that.
right? That's cool, right?
it
I
was-
think that's really
Did you almost
Otherwise-
drown? Like, what made it not good?
Unwise. That's a whole episode in itself.
Okay.
Well, you have to choose a place when you're going to be in an immersion camp with a lot of wind. But there was a lot, like a constant wind. And so to make a long story short, I had a gust of wind that picked me up and threw me across the ground, like far, like
Did you get hurt?
I did not, by the grace of God,
Oh,
did
God.
not get hurt. But there was a moment where I was like, can I feel my feet? Can I feel my legs? So it was just scary. It was just, I'm not an athlete either. I married an athlete,
Yeah.
but I am not one. And that was a
Ditto.
painful reality moment of this probably was not safe.
Yeah.
I still think you're cool.
Yes, thank you. I tried. I really did try. And I got, you know what? I tried again after that was so scary. And I got benched for the rest of the day because it was a scary moment. But I did go the next day and I tried again. And I'm so proud of myself for trying again.
Aw.
So thank you
Yay.
for that validation.
Good job.
All right.
Yay.
Are you good?
Yes. Okay. So I would love to be friends with my daughter at 13 because she's a much stronger personality than I was. So I would have loved to have gotten to know her authentic self because neither one of us were followers, that we weren't. But she would say it more how it is, and she still, whereas now I'm more that way as well. But whereas I was the peacemaker, I'm the empath, and I'm still the empath. Whereas she's empathetic, but on a healthy level.
Oh,
You know what
Boundaries.
I mean? So yes, boundaries. Whereas me, oh my gosh, if there's someone in need, I'm there. You know, so I've learned my boundaries too. So it would have been nice to learn a little bit from her at 13. You know,
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Gosh, guys, thank you so much for being here today. I've loved this conversation.
Yeah.
If you are watching us right now and you're thinking, this is exactly what I needed today, please subscribe. Subscribing really helps us. It's a free way to help a charity. And then send this to someone who's struggling with their kid or who just feels like they're alone as they're trying to raise a teenager. That's what we're here for. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on This Is Now Parenting Teens Today.